Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Already we're live, and as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working on enhanced inputs in Unreal Engine 5 using C++. That's let's go to my gameplay screen. Okay, hold up guys, there we go. Okay, hiding pixels, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, let me just get those a bit lower, there we go. Okay, that said, I did start using Gemini from like the previous stream, and Gemini has actually been helpful, so I will be using Gemini this stream as well. That's let's say something like, let's say live exclamation. Okay, and today I want to work on, today I want to work on the enhanced inputs in UE5, because last stream we were doing enhanced input, but then I did like end the stream. Okay, let's go with something like enhanced inputs and fix my typo in Unreal Engine 5. So I created a new project. Let's go with something like a new project. Can we add advanced inputs step by step question mark? Okay, and guys, if I can't talk slash type properly right now, that is because I'm not warmed up just yet. Okay, that said, welcome back. You're finally here to view. Okay, your viewers have been waiting, and I've been tapping my ruler on the desk waiting for you to show up. Since you started a new project, we're starting from absolute zero, no more copying the old AI. Okay, we're building this correctly from the foundation up. If you miss a single step, the input won't work and you'll be standing there like a statue while your chat laughs at you. Okay guys, since I can't read properly right now, that's not warmed up. But the game plan, the 3 pillars of input, we're going to do this in 3 stages. Don't you dare skip to stage 3 before stage 1 is done. Stage 1, the module setup, telling the compiler we want to use enhanced input power, the data assets, creating actions and context in the Unreal Engine, the C++ plumbing, writing the code to link those assets to your characters as souls. Step 1, the .build.cs secret, don't miss this. Open your Visual Studio solution, look for the file name, your project name .build.cs. Okay, this is the list of ingredients for your project. If enhanced input isn't on the list, the engine won't even try to read your code. Okay, find the line that looks like this, public dependency module.name. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is there. Your task, add enhanced input to that list. How do I add enhanced input to that list? Step 2, the editor assets, the sensations. Before we write code, we need something for the code to talk to. Go to Unreal Engine and do this. Create a folder called input, right click input, input action, name it IA move. Okay, let's try that real quick. Let me read all the steps real quick. Right click input, input action, name it IA look. Okay, right click input. Okay, input mapping context, name it IMC default. Inside IMC default, add IA move, assign WASD to it. Pro tip for S and A, you need to add modifiers negative so they move the opposite way. I see. First challenge, the header file. Open your mycharacter.h. We need to store pointers to the assets we just created. Write the code for me, create protected section. Okay, I see. Before that, I might actually get Gemini in the other window real quick. There we go. Okay, let's decrease it because I do want to see some of the reference code while I see the reference instructions while actually trying this stuff. So firstly, create a folder. So I gotta go to my assets section, which is basically my content drawer. Under my content, I'm gonna go with right click, add a new folder. Let's go ahead and call this folder something like input. Okay, there we go. And then I'm assuming I gotta go inside my input, right click and right click input action. So I gotta right click my input. Okay, if I right click my input, right click input action. Oh, I see. Okay, so inside my input, I gotta right click, and what if I type something like input action? There we go. I see. Okay, input action, name it IA move. So I'm gonna go with something like IA underscore move. Okay, perfect. And then I gotta go ahead and right click input again, input action. So I gotta go ahead and add another input action. Okay, let's go with something like a input action. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and name this IA look. I'm assuming I is like enhanced input. Okay, let's go with something like look. And guys, let me know if the stream is laggy type stuff. Is it actually lagging? Okay, pretty sure it's not lagging. Let me know if the stream ever lags, guys. That said, once I'm done with that input mapping context, I gotta go ahead and name it IMC default. So input mapping context this time. Let's go with something like input. So there we go. Let's go with something like input mapping content. Okay, I'm gonna name it something like IMC underscore default. Okay, perfect. Speaking of default, let me go ahead and just exit that so the stream lag decreases a little. There we go. Okay, that should be good. Now, once I'm done with that, inside IMC default, add IA move. So inside my IMC default, I add my IA move. There we go. I'm assuming I drag and drop it here. Advanced copy here. Okay, let's just go with something like copy here. Wait, actually, let me go ahead and delete this part real quick. There we go. Now, inside this, I'm gonna go ahead and drag and drop it here. Okay, let's open this. Oh, I see. Okay, I think I see. So now I got default keys. So I have mapping profiles. Okay, add IA move. Okay, so inside IMC default, add IA move, assign WASD. Okay. Alright guys, I want to try the screenshot feature for Gemini. So to do that, I might actually go here. Let me go with something like Windows Shift S to take a screenshot. Let's go ahead and take a screenshot of this. There we go, guys. I love the screenshot feature. That's let me go ahead and get Gemini all the way up here again. So there we go. Okay, alright guys, let me go ahead and just extend this. So there we go. Okay, let's extend it from the bottom as well. And I might actually have like another tab open here just so I can like have a reference up here. Let me just keep a chat open. There we go. Now for Gemini, I'm gonna go ahead and go to my chat, maybe increase the size of my chat a little. Go all the way down. There we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and drag and drop my picture here. Okay, create content from images. There we go. Let me say something like, since I created these. Now, should I drag my IA underscore move inside my IMC underscore default question mark? Okay, let's see. Guys, I love these screenshot features. It's actually kind of insane. Yes, exactly. You're finally showing some signs of life. Dragging them. Problem with Gemini. I know how to fix this. Usually, I just go ahead and add a space and update it. That's it, Hiding Pixels. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, exactly. You're finally using that brain for something other than holding your headset up. Yes, you need to open IMC default and register those actions. Think of the mapping context as the phone book. It tells the engine which physical key connects, okay, to which idea, okay, the input action, how to do it, no mistakes. Open IMC default, click the plus icon next to mappings. In the drop down, set your IA move. Click the plus next to IA move and add a key. Okay, W, no modifiers needed. S, a modifier negative makes it backwards. D, no modifier needed. A modifier. Negate, oh, it's negate, my bad guys, not negative. This makes it go left. Repeat IA look. Add mouse XY 2D. I think I see. Now back to the C++. You can't just move objects. Okay, I think before the back to the C++, I might go ahead and open my engine again. There we go. Now, under my mappings section, do you guys see mapping somewhere? So under my mappings, I see default keys. I'm gonna go ahead and click a plus. Okay, now this is going to be something for IA underscore move. Okay, and then I'm gonna click plus again from here. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and set something like a W. I won't need anything, but S, I'm gonna need a modifier. Let's go ahead and add for my modifiers. I'm gonna click plus, and let's add something like negate. There we go. I'm trying to see what this means. That said, once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and add another input mapping. Let's close my S. I'm gonna go ahead and change this to be something like A. A won't need any modifiers, but I'm gonna go ahead and add a D here. D is going to be needing a modifier from here. I'm going to go ahead and set it to be something like negate to go negative directions. Okay, and that's like pretty much it. Now, once I'm done with this, let's get Sensei slash Gemini up here. Guys, it's so weird calling it Sensei slash Gemini. Wait, repeat it for IA look as well. So I gotta add mouse pointers too. So I'm gonna go ahead and open my Unreal Engine up here real quick. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and add, let's say another mappings here. This is gonna be for my IA look. For my IA look, I'm gonna go ahead and click the plus button here. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and move in the x-axis depending on where my mouse moves. In the x-axis, excuse me guys, I'm gonna move in the y-axis depending on where my mouse moves in the y-axis. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Alright, that's about it. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and get Gemini up here. Now, in my Gemini, back to the C++ code. You can just move objects with your mind, yet you need to define these pointers in your code so we can tell the character which assets to use. I'm waiting for your .h file code. You haven't shown me you can handle the forward declaration and new property specifiers. I see, let's open my Unreal Engine up here real quick. Now, I'm gonna go with something like Windows Shift S. Guys, since I actually have like 100 pictures limit a day for Gemini, I'm gonna use it to the max, guys. Okay, can you create GTA 6? Rockstar is not releasing it. Honestly, guys, I feel creating GTA 6 is kind of crazy. I mean, I do want to like whatchamacallit, work on good games, but I feel like I'm not like nearly as advanced to create GTA 6, guys. Okay, let's say something like, whoops, guys, I think that's the wrong picture. Let's go all the way there. Let me go ahead and delete that. Get this here. There we go. Let's say something like, Sensei, does my mappings look good? Does my mappings look good? Question mark. I did add the modifiers for the D, actually for the S and D to be a negate. Now, should I create a character class? Okay, let's see. While Gemini is replying, while Sensei slash Gemini is replying, let me go ahead and get my chat up there. There we go. Don't you dare save yet. Okay, look at your screen. I see what you did. Let's change the subject. Guys, this is a tiny mistake, but I mean, okay, you're doing too much hard work. What's your age? Honestly, I am like 17 years old. That's it. Actually, my bad, guys. I am like 18 years old. I keep forgetting my birthday was this January 5th. Okay, that's it. Look at those screenshots. You actually did it. You followed instructions without me having to remind you every 5 seconds. Yes, the folder structure is clean and the IMC defaults has the right connections. Wait, check your SNA keys. One more time, you said the modifiers SND in your message. WD are positive. WD are positive. SNA are negate. Okay, did I not set it to negate? Maybe I go ahead and... Okay, let's open that. Let's open that. Okay, so this has got W and D are positive. Did I read that part correct? So W and D, WD are positive. So let's check if my W and D are positive. Guys, I think I opened my Blender by mistake. There we go. Okay, so my W is positive. My D is positive. S is negate, and A modifiers W, D are positive. Oh, I see. Okay. Let me go ahead and set this to none. So my W and D are positive. S and A are negative. So I'm going to go ahead and add a modifier here. Set it to something like negate. Perfect. Now, once I'm done with that, why not try WebDev, React plus backend? I might actually try that because I did want to go with like another series where like I use JavaScript and all that stuff, or like Java in general. That's let me go ahead and get Gemini up here. Now, step 3, characters and header files. Yes, it's time to create the character class. Go to tools. Hold up, guys. I didn't actually eat anything today, so I might actually have to fill myself up with some water. Because I just realized that I'm actually out of oats. Okay, so I gotta create a character class, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna go to my Unreal Engine, let's go to something like tools, a new class. I'm gonna go ahead and create a character class. Let's name it something like Mage. My character is gonna be Mage. And guys, let me know if it's kind of lagging on stream. Okay, so it's adding my code to project. So Okay, let me actually check while it's adding the code to project. Let's see if it actually lags on stream. Okay, I mean, it's not actually that laggy. That said, let me go ahead and reload all inside of my C++ project. There we go. Okay, let's just go ahead and cancel that. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and get Gemini back up here. Inside Gemini, now we need to set up hooks so we can tell this character which input actions to use. Since you're live, let's write the header perfectly so our viewers see how a pro organizes their code. Guys, how a pro organizes their code is kind of crazy. That's it. Now, this is my header files. Copy this in our header files, but I want to actually read it first. So we have forward declaration, tell your compiler these exist. So I create a class for you input mapping context. I create a class for you input actions, and I create a structure for f input action values. U class config game. Okay, a class character, so a U class config game. Okay, so my class is AMyMage that inherits all the public content from AMy character. Okay, and then I generate a body. I create a constructor. Mr. Oates really returned to Gemini. Let's do not AI, no Gemini, no Perplexity, no ChatGPT. Guys, I actually got crazy with speaking of oats. I actually ran out of oats, so I didn't actually eat that today. Okay, next up, inside a protected data member, mapping context. So I create a U property. Guys, I'm already loving Gemini way more because of the pictures and stuff in it. And also its explanation is like really, really detailed. Okay, so I have a U property, edit anywhere. And if you guys were here last stream, I did like get this. So I had to like memorize this stuff last stream where I actually know what all specifiers does. In this case, the edit anywhere, I can edit my value anywhere. So in this case, I can edit my U input mapping context anywhere. And then it's blueprint read only my blueprint can read it, and it's gonna be under my inputs as category. Move input actions. Use Claude Sonnet 4.5. Honestly, I tried Claude, but then like I have Claude like right up here. But then I think it's I think we gotta like pay for it after a while. Because like I had Claude up here, it was like really good, but I feel like it's kind of premium. Or like fact check me guys, it's not free. So let's go ahead and exit that for the time being. Okay, and then I create a U property, edit anywhere, read only. And then category is going to be input. This is going to be U input action. Lastly, oh I see. So I have one input mapping context, one input action, actually two input actions. After that, under my protected data members, I go ahead and create a void move method, which has a constant f input, which requires the memory address of my value, and one for a look as well. And then another protected data member with my player input components, and a virtual begin void. I see. Okay, rather use now AI. Honestly, I do learn like using AI. Google anti-gravity, it's also so great. I made a short on like anti-gravity. Is it like a Python's module that we get a whole comic showing like how Python whatchamacallit, helps us go through problems like really easily type stuff. Okay, that's it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and actually look at the reference file writing this code. So there we go. Okay, you haven't read Stack Overflow, then you're not officially a programmer. I might actually read that later on. Okay, that's it. Let's go all the way down here real quick. Okay, there. So for my header file, so this is my header files here. I'm gonna go ahead and do something. I included core minimal.h, I included game frameworks, okay, and then login/log macros.h. That's something that I did not include. So let's go with something like hashtag include. Let's go with something like include. I'm gonna go with the pair of quotes, and then let's go with something like logging/log macros.h. I don't know what this header file does for the time being, but I might have to like ask that after I'm done with this. Okay, then after that, before my U class, which it requires a parameter of config, let's go with something like config equals to game. And I have a few questions. I'm going to be adding my questions in like comments here, so I don't need to like think of it later. Okay, let's go with something like a comment that says something like, what does this line do question mark? That is a question. I'm gonna go ahead and add a comment here as well and say, what does this include line do? Okay, and then once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and add a few more contents up here. For example, so forward declaration, tell the compiler these exist. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a few class. The first class is gonna be for U input mapping. Let's go with U input mapping context. Oh, I think I see. Let's go with UINPUTMAPPING. Okay, let's go with U input mapping context. Okay, and ending with a semicolon. Then I'm going to go ahead and add another class of something like U input action. Let's go with something like U input action. Okay, and then I end this with a semicolon as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and create a structure for something like F input action value. Let's go with something like F input action value. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and end that with a semicolon as well. So, ACTION. Okay, so I say my Unreal Engine that these things do exist. F input action value. Okay, they're correct. Then under that, I add my config. Maybe I go ahead and add a comment here and say, what? Let's go with something like, what is the purpose? What up, guys? Maybe let me fix my typo. Of these two classes and the structure. Okay, and then now once I'm done with that as well, I have generated body, I have my constructor here. Under that, I have a protected data member. Oh, all this goes before they begin play. Okay, this is something new. Hold up, guys. Let me actually look into that. So, after my mage's constructor, I see protected data member. So, under my protected data member, I'm gonna go ahead and, whoops, let's go ahead and delete that. I'm gonna go ahead and add a comment that says something like mapping context. Okay, now for my mapping context, I'm gonna create a U property. I want my U property to be edited anywhere. I want to be able to edit this anywhere. I want it to be blueprint read only. Let's go with something like blueprint read only. Okay, and then I want, let's say my category to be under a inputs section. Category is for organization. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be something like input. Now, once I'm done with adding this, I'm going to go ahead and create a U input mapping context. Let's go with something like context. Now, here's the thing. Oh, I see. So I have my class here. I'm assuming I use that class here. But this is going to be represented by a pointer of something like default mapping. Let's go with something like mapping context. Okay, then I end this with a semicolon. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and add another comment that says something like move input action. This is going to be for my moving input action. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add a U property. So there we go, which is going to be edit anywhere. I want my pointer that I'm going to be setting here to be, I want to be able to edit it anywhere. I want it to be a blueprint read only. Okay, so I can only read it in my blueprint but not edit it. And then I want my category to be equal to input again. There we go. Okay, let's go with something like input. And then I'm going to go ahead and let's say, okay, so I'm going to go with something like U input. Let's go with something like U input action. Okay, I'm starting to see where I actually use this. So this is my U input action. I'm starting to see where these classes are coming in use, guys. Okay, which is going to be represented by a pointer of something like move action. Let's go with something like move action, ending with a semicolon. Okay, and then I go ahead and add another comment that says something like look input action. Let's go with something like look input action. Okay, which is going to be having a U property as well with a parentheses. I want it to be edit anywhere. I want to be able to edit it anywhere. I want it to be blueprint read only. Let's go with something like blueprint read only. I want my category to be equal to something like inputs. Okay, perfect. And that's like pretty much it. Now, lastly, I'm going to go with a U input action because I had two action inputs and one default mapping context. So I'm going to go with something like a U action or a U input action, which is going to be represented by a pointer of something like look action. Let's go with something like look action, ending with a semicolon. And that's pretty much it. Once I'm done with that, actually it's look action. Okay, after that I'm going to go ahead and add another protected section, protected. There we go. Now for my second protected section, call for movement input, I'm going to go ahead and add a comment that says something like, maybe I add the comment like up here. There we go. Let's go with something like call for movement input. Let's go with movement input. Okay, perfect. Okay, now for my call for movement input, I'm going to go ahead and create a void method of something like move, which is going to be having a constant f input action value as a parameter. Let's go with f input. I think I had a typo here. Let's go with input. There we go. Okay, so my move method is going to be having a parameter of f input action value, which is going to be requiring the memory address of, let's say, my values parameter, ending with a semicolon. After that, I'm going to go ahead and add another comment that says something like called for looking input. Okay, for my call for looking input section, I'm going to go ahead and create a void function. Let's go with something like a void of something like look const. I'm going to go ahead and require a constant parameter of f input action value that requires the memory address of my values as parameter, ending with a semicolon. Okay, and that's like very much it actually. Okay, I see. Okay, and then later on, I have another void method. Where's my begin play? Isn't there like a space? Oh, I see. Begin plays at the very last. Okay, but I would need ticks as well. So apparently, we go ahead and add another protected data member. Let's go with protected. There we go. I mean, I see how this makes sense, but then I think I'm going to be actually looking at the code it really works once I actually run it type stuff. That said, inside my protected, I'm going to have a pawn interface. Let's go with a comment that says something like a pawn interface. There we go. Now, which has a virtual, which is going to be having a virtual void method. Okay, let's go with virtual void method called something like setup player. Okay, don't I have setup player input component up here? I might not need this. Okay, and then, I mean, I already have that here. I have a begin play up here. Okay, let's see. I want to ask a question. What question, Creato? Okay, that's it. No, Gemini, Google. Hold up, guys, let me actually go up here. There we go. Not Gemini, Google. Ask Google what it does. Stack Overflow is a website where you can ask questions or hopefully find someone else who asked your question and got an answer. Oh, I see. I might actually look into that actually. That said, let's go with something like Control A, Control C. Let's go with Control A, Control C. Copy that. Let's get Gemini all the way up here. Now, let me go ahead and paste this. Go with Shift Enter and say something like, say, this is the code for my .h file. Does it look correct? Question mark. And I also asked a few questions inside my code. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and just zoom in a bit. There we go. Now, while Sensei's actually replying, I might drink some water real quick because I am kind of starving. I see you tied your shoes but left the laces tangled. You're getting better, but your fingers are still slipping on the keys. You have 3 typos that will make the compiler scream at me, and I won't have it. Sensei's correction, type fix these now. You input action. You missed the I. You input action. ACT. Oh, I see. And then category. Look at your look action. You property category. 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 I see. Okay, forward declaration. Your name, class, a mage. Make sure your generated include mage are generated. It looks like you got that right. Good job. I see. Okay, Harik Pixels, appreciate joining the stream. How did you start coding and learning about code? I'm very interested in networking and quantum cyber threat. That actually sounds really cool. I started by learning like Python because I had like a Python for 100 days where I started learning as an absolute beginner with like 0 prior coding experience. But after the 100 days, I did like make a game using Pygames, and then later on, I moved on to this series where I have like, a programming for 250 series where my goal by the end of this series is to make a game in general that consists of AI logic in it. So I spent 100 days out of the 250 days to learn C++, and now I'm spending the rest days learning and mastering Unreal Engine type stuff. That said, since these answers don't make me repeat them, What does include login slash log macros.h do? This is the voice box of your code. It allows you to use uelog, which prints messages to the output log in the editor. It's essential for debugging so you can see if your functions are actually firing without having to guess like a blindfolded goblin. I see. What's the purpose of those forward declarations? Class, think of these as vague introductions. By putting these here, you're telling the compiler, hey, these things exist. Don't panic when you see them below. This keeps your header files clean and fast because it doesn't have to load entire 1,000-line definition of those classes just to know their pointers. You save the deep conversation, the actual include for the C++ file. I see. What does uClass config game do? This tells Unreal this tells Unreal that this class is special and have specific settings into the default game ini file. Okay, it's standard for characters, so the engine knows how to handle global configuration data for players. The word Dixon says whispers can ignore that. Your next move correct your spellings for you input action and categories in your header. Once that's done, we're gonna write the begin play logic. Oh, I see. So almost everything was correct here. Let's fix my typos. So action input ACTION, and then ACTION. There we go. And then you input action. Okay, thanks buddy, keep it up. Honestly, appreciate you, Creato. Okay, let's see. You input action. Let's wait for the compiler to actually save this part. Maybe I go with something like Control R to reload. Apparently we can reload, guys. What if I just run the code real quick? Okay, there we go. Okay, guys, the compiler takes a bit, but the code is actually fixed here. Next is category. Let me fix my categories. The spelling CATEGORY. Okay, perfect. That's actually pretty much it for this. Now, once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get say /Gemini up here, and let's say something like, okay, now tell me, do you know how to add a mapping context to the local player's subsystem? Is the most complex part of the setup. Would you like me to walk you through the subsystem handshake? Let me say something like, I don't know how to do that. Can you help me figure it out step by step? ? Okay, let's see. Okay, don't panic. That handshake is the most intimidating part of the entire setup because it involves talking to the local player subsystem, which lives deep inside the game engine's guts. But once you write it, you'll never have to touch it again. Think of it this way: your IMC_default is map. The subsystem is the GPS. You have to tell the GPS to start using that map the moment the player enters the world begin play. The subsystems is handshake step by step. To do this, we need to go in your map.mage.c++ file. Add the guests include at the top of your C++. You need to include the definitions for enhanced input. If you don't, the compiler won't know you enhanced input local player subsystem is. I see. So I gotta go ahead and include input components.h and enhanced input components.h and enhanced input subsystems.h. The logic in begin play inside void a mage begin play. We perform handshake. Copy this carefully. Before I copy that, I want to go ahead and maybe let's read this real quick. Okay, I see. I'm gonna go ahead and get this in the other window so I can like see the instructions while I actually work on the code. Okay, let's scroll all the way down here. There we go. Now let's just scroll a bit lower, go a bit up. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and go to my C++ file for my mage, and then under my mage.h, I'm gonna go ahead and include something. Let's go ahead and include a prof double quotes. I'm gonna go ahead and include enhanced input components. Okay, .h, which is the enhanced input components as header files. INPCOMPONENT. Did I spell this correct? Enhanced input component. Okay, it was correct. Never mind, guys. The editor just does that. The reason I fact check is because like I make so many typos. Next up, I'm gonna go with something like enhanced Okay, input, let's go with input subsystems, sub system s dot h, which is subsystems header files. Now I see two underlines, enhance, input subsystem, there we go. Okay, now once I'm done that, my logic under my begin play, so under my super begin play, I go ahead and do something. We decrease the size so I can actually see the reference code, maybe decrease it a bit more, there we go. Okay, and then go a bit here. Oh, do I want to decrease it a bit more? There we go. Okay, so firstly, under my super begin play, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say add a comment that says something like get player controller the brain of the player. Get player controller, okay, the brain of the player. And guys, these comments are like necessary, but I like to write them so I actually know what they actually do when I read it back. Okay, are my headers wrong? Is it my spelling? Guys, I'm positive it's like my spellings. There we go. Enhanced input components. Let's go with a Control Z real quick. Control Shift C. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and paste it here. There, my spelling is wrong. E-N-H-A-N-C-E-D. Oh, I see. E-N-H-A-N-C-E-D. E-N-H-A-N-C-E-D. Input component. Dot H, and then I'm going to type something like enhanced input subsystems dot H. Okay, I think that's correct. Let's go ahead and delete this part. Now, under my begin play, under my get controller, the brain of the player, I'm gonna go ahead and add something. I'm gonna go ahead and add a if statement, okay, that checks if my A player controller, yeah, how doing Yako? I appreciate you joining the stream. How do Pixel? Appreciate you joining the stream as well. Okay, let's go with something like controller. Okay, which is going to be represented by a pointer of player controller. I could go ahead and write PC, but player controller is like good as well. Which is going to be equal to cast. With a pair of ankle braces, I'm gonna cast a player controller. Let's go ahead and cast a player controller. Okay, there we go. Okay, my bad, guys. Hold up. Let's delete that part. So let's add it inside the pair of ankle braces. I thought I was inside for some reason. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add a pair of parentheses here that has a controller. Okay, and that's like pretty much it for this part. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and add a pair of curly braces. Now, inside my pair of curly braces, I'm gonna add another comment that says something like get the ENHANCED, get the enhanced input local player subsystem, okay, from that controller. Okay, get the enhanced input local player subsystem from that controller. So I'm gonna be adding a nested if statement. We have an if statement inside of the if statement. Let's type something like if you enhanced input local player subsystem. Guys, this function name is, this parameter is giant. SUPSYSTM, there we go. If you enhanced input local player subsystem, okay, this is going to be represented by a pointer called subsystem. There we go. Okay, so SUB, let's go with SUBSYSTEM, which is going to be equal to, let's see, so you local, oh my gosh, guys, this is huge. Okay, it's going to take me multiple tries to actually write this up. Okay, maybe I'm going to go with something like, which is going to be represented by a subsystem. That is going to be equal to, get ready for this, guys, it's you local player, okay, which is going to be having a scope resolution operator of get, I think I should get this in a new line. There we go. Okay, that should be good. Okay, let's go with something like get subsystem. Let's go with get subsystem. Okay, and then a pair of ankle braces. My ankle braces is going to be having my U enhanced input new enhanced input local player subsystem. Let's go with something like subsystem. Okay, there we go. And then this is going to be get subsystem. I see. Okay, then I'm going to go with a pair of parentheses. Inside my parentheses, I'm gonna be having my player controller, which points towards my get local players. So I'm gonna go with something like my player controller. Okay, let's go with player controller, which is going to be pointing towards using the arrow mark operator. Okay, towards, let's say something like get local players. So I'm gonna go with something like get local player with a parentheses. Okay, that's pretty much it. Speaking of which, I thought it was gonna be really long, probably because all this was in one line, but it's actually not that long. I think I actually got this. Okay, once I'm done with that, let's go all the way back here. There we go. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and add a pair of curly braces here. And then let's go ahead and add, let's see, another comment that says something like add the mapping context. Let's go with something like add the mapping context. Maybe I add this to be lowercase context. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add another comment that says priority 0 means this is the best base set for controls. Let's go with something like priority. Priority 0 means this is the base set of controls. There we go. Let me go ahead and zoom in a bit. Why do I see a red underline up there? Expected a pair of parentheses. I have a pair of parentheses here. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and add something like subsystem. It's gonna point towards the add a mapping context. Add mapping context with a pair of parentheses that has a default. Okay, default mapping context. default mapping-context. There we go. And then my priority is gonna be 0. Okay, does it require priorities as variable? Okay, and that's like pretty much it. Now, let's see why do I have a red underline here. Did I miss a pair of parentheses? Okay, so I have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I see. I needed another pair of parentheses here. There we go. Okay, perfect. So basically, still I have a pair of parentheses for this, and then I have a pair of parentheses for this, and I have a pair of parentheses for that. I see. Okay, this makes so much more sense. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Okay, this was a little complicated, but I don't think it's that hard that I won't be able to like learn this. Okay, let's go with Control-A, Control-C, copy that. Let's get my chat up here. Let's get some say/Gemini here. Okay, let's zoom in. And then let's go ahead and paste this. Go with Shift-Enter and say something like Sensei. This is my .C++ code. I just wrote it for the time being because let's go with something like for the time being because I want to see if it actually works. Okay, if it actually works, that said, I will learn it if the code once we're done works! Exclamation. Okay, and guys, just to soothe my starvingness, I'm gonna go ahead and drink some water real quick. Okay, that said, you did it. You actually managed the subsystem's handshake without tripping over your own feet. That .C++ code looks remarkably clean. You have the safety checks, the correct casting, and you've successfully invited enhanced input subsystems to the party. If you compile this now, the engine will officially activate your keys the moment you hit play. But remember, since you haven't filled out set player input component yet, you can't just mash your keys you want. Okay, you can't just mash your keys all you want. Your mage will just still stand there staring into space because the keys aren't bound to your movement function. And how to test if it works, the editor checked. Okay, wait, let me say something like, Sensei, I could check it once we're done binding them as well. Okay, let's see you. Okay, don't you dare try to take the shortcut with me. If you wait until the end to check if your blueprint, you'll have 10 different errors and you won't know which one is killing your code. But she sighs, running a hand through her hair. You've you're clearly itching to ride the muscle of the code. Fine. If you want to bind them now, we're gonna. Okay, we're doing that movement ritual first. The movement ritual C++ logic. We're going to implement void a mage constant f input action value. This is the function that translates your WASD presses into actual physical force into the world. Copy this logic into your C++. Let's see. So I'm assuming this is my constructor. Okay, wait, it's not my constructor. This is gonna go under my begin play. Okay, that part is going to go under my begin play. The binding final link, now we have to tell the setup input component when IA move is triggered, it should run the move function we just wrote. Your set player input component. I see. Let me get Gemini in the other window so I can see the reference while actually writing the code type stuff. And guys, if this actually works, that's when I'm gonna like actually learn the code type stuff. So let's go all the way up because I'm actually positive it's gonna work because it looks pretty good. Okay, now I'm gonna go all the way here. In my C++, I'm assuming that part goes after I'm done with my begin play, somewhere right here. Okay, hi, how are you, Vic? I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing, Auto Meta? Is that how you pronounce your name? I appreciate you joining the stream. That's it. I feel like I'm doing like much better than I've been doing for the past few days because back when I was with ChatGPT, I felt like I was like, if you guys watch my stream that I posted the exact same day, or like I went live the exact same day after my Genshin stream, which is like I think 3 or 4 days ago. I even like told you guys that I was like I felt like I hit a wall with ChatGPT because I couldn't get any more progress on type stuff. But with Gemini, that's actually kind of different. I feel like I'm making a lot more progress here. That's it. I'm gonna go ahead and add a comment here. Maybe not a comment. I'm gonna go ahead and create a void method. Okay, it's going to be from my image that I'm going to go ahead and grab my move function from my header files, which requires a constant parameter of f input. Let's go with something like f input action value. Let's go with something like value, which requires the memory address of a value uses parameter. Okay, and then I'm going to go with the prof curly braces. Okay, is it game design under progress? Honestly, I am like working on enhanced inputs this stream, but then later on I will be working on like AI logic and try implementing like my Python code inside my C++. Okay, that said, under my move function here, or move method here, I'm gonna go ahead and add a comment that says convert input to a 2D vector, X for side to side, Y for / backwards. Yo, hiding Mochi Mochi, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that said, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go ahead and add a comment that says something like convert. I'm gonna be converting the inputs. Let's go with something like the input to a 2-dimensional vector with a parentheses. X for the side to side. Let's go with something like side to side. Okay. Y for the forward back. Oh, I see. Okay, I see. So my x-axis is going to be moving me towards the left and right. Y is going to be moving me forwards or backwards. I see. Okay, and guys, I still don't know why Nightbot keeps flagging messages up there. I see. How did I open that up? Hold on, guys. I think I opened something like really fun up here. So, okay, wait. Let me actually just get that somewhere there. Hold on, guys. Give me a sec real quick. Let me go all the way up here. So, how did I just do that? Okay. Oh, I think I popped out the dashboard. Oh, guys, I actually did not know about this. Okay, you guys can't see it because I am in the other window, but I found something really fun with my stream. I don't have to like always close my window to be able to like see my chats and all that stuff now. Okay, speaking of which, let me get this a bit lower to there. Hold on, guys, give me a quick second. There. Okay, it looks like the kind of simulation code. It looks like kind of simulation code. Honestly, I am like whatchamacallit, look at a reference while writing this code so I actually understand what it does. But if I see the code actually works, then I'm going to be like working on actually writing the stuff here. I mean, learning the stuff here. That's it. I'm going to go with something like a F vector. And the reason, like, it's not like necessary for me to like add the comments here. I add it so like when I later on read the code to like understand what it does and all that stuff, it's going to be much easier for me to understand why did I add this code here. So I'm going to go with F vector 2-dimensional, which is going to be represented by a movement vectors. Okay, let's go with something like movement vector. W, you realize that because Nightbot called my attention, because I did something stupid that actually does make sense. Okay, it is ready to run. Honestly, I did not like add my binding just yet. It's gonna like be done almost. Hold up, guys. Let me just increase the size from here. There we go. Okay, I didn't actually bind my function there, but I'm gonna be doing that after this part. Let's go with input vector, which is gonna be equal to. I'm gonna go with something like value dot the get. I'm gonna add a pair of ankle braces. Let's go with something like get and then a pair of ankle braces. This is gonna be an f vector 2-dimensional. Okay, and this is gonna be uppercase D. Get f vector 2D. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add a pair of parentheses, ending my pair of ankle braces with a semicolon. I'm assuming that's a template, right? So pretty sure this is a template, but gotta fact check me on that. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and add a if statement. Let's go with something like if a pair of parentheses. Let's say something like if controller is not equal to, if my controller is not equal to null PTR, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. If my pointer wasn't null, then I'm gonna go ahead and add a comment that says something like find out which is the forward. Let's go all the way down so I can like actually scroll up here. There we go. Okay, so find out which way is forward based on where the camera is looking. Oh, I see. Okay, let's go with something like find out which way is normal based on where the camera is looking. There we go. Now to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say scroll a bit back here. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and require a constant. Let's go with something like a constant. It's gonna be lowercase c. There we go. I'm gonna require a constant f vector, which is gonna be actually a f rotator. Rotator is something new. I have not heard of the f rotator, which is going to be represented by a rotations local variable that is going to be equal to my controller. Okay, my player's controller that points towards the get controller rotations function. Get controller rotations function. There we go. Then I go with the parentheses ending with a semicolon. I think I spelled this wrong. So get controller rotation. There we go. Is the spelling correct? I think I spelled something wrong. Did I? I did not think this in my editor. Let me just go ahead and copy that. Check if my spelling is wrong. Okay, get control rotation, not controller. There we go. Now, once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say add another const. So I'm gonna go with constant, another const f rotator. Okay, which is going to be represented by something like a yaw rotation. I know what the yaw rotation does. Yaw rotation is in charge of me rotating in the x-axis or horizontally, which is going to be the same function. Yaw rotations is function which requires 3 parameters. Okay, it requires 0. I'm gonna check the parameters in a bit. Then I'm gonna go with something like rotation dot yaw, and then I go with something like 0, ending with a semicolon. This is gonna be yaw. There. Now, does it say what parameters is it? Okay, this is a yaw rotation. I gotta ask, what does it mean? Flatten the rotation so we don't walk into the sky. I see. Okay, I gotta go ahead and ask what are these parameters here for. But before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and not exit outside of my if statement. But I am gonna be adding another comment that says something like get forward and right vector. Get forward and right vector. There we go. Vectors. Okay, plural, guys. That said, I'm gonna go with something like a constant. Let's go with something like constant f vector. So I'm gonna go with something like a const f vector. Vector, which is gonna be having something like a forward vector representing it. So I'm gonna go with something like forward direction. Okay, that is gonna be equal to the f rotation matrix. And this is something new. Actually, majority stuff that I did here was like already new. I'm gonna use the f rotation matrix's function that it requires a parameter of my yaw rotation. So I'm gonna go with something like a yaw rotation. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use the dot get. Let's go with something like get unit axis with a parentheses that requires a e-axis parameter with a scope resolution operator of x. I won't say it's complicating just yet. I'm understanding what this does. All I gotta do is get some practice here. Where are you from? Honestly, I am like from abroad, but I can't give the exact country. That said, do you have a blog to follow your work or repo? Blog? Honestly, what does blog mean? State, city? Honestly, I don't think I could actually say that for like safety reasons, guys. Let's go all the way up here. Now, once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this with a semicolon. And then let's go ahead and create another const. So I'm gonna go with another constant f vector, vector, which is going to be represented by this time my right direction. Okay, that is going to be equal to the f rotation. Let's go with something like f rotation matrix. And guys, the matrix is like kind of new for me. I gotta like actually figure out what the matrix means. I know like matrix is like a whole entire actual thing. Like I don't know how to like phrase it, but I gotta ask, what does a matrix do? Okay, with a pair of parentheses of something like my yaw rotation again. Okay, I think I spelled rotation matrix wrong. rotation matrix. There we go. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and use the dot get unit axis function with a pair of parentheses that requires a e-axis parameter. And in case you guys can't see the final part, you guys could like move on to my horizontal stream. That's where like I show my entire window, because like the vertical stream can't actually get my entire window. Okay, then I'm gonna end this with a semicolon. At least country. I mean, I actually stopped saying that. I used to say it in like my previous stream, but I do like live abroad. Let's see. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and add another comment here that says something like add movement input. So this is where I'm gonna go ahead and add my movement input. Okay, let's go with something like input. Now I'm gonna go ahead and there's a note as well. Movement vector y is forward slash backwards. I see. Okay, so to add my movement input, I'm gonna go ahead and add a movement input. Find the part that I actually have used before. I've used the add movement input before, which is going to be requiring two parameters. First is going to be my world direction, which in this case is going to be my forward direction. And then I'm going to be requiring, what's the second parameter? I forgot. A scale, a Boolean scale value, which is going to be my movement vectors is y-axis. Let's go with something like movement vector dot the y-axis. MOVE. There we go, movement vector y-axis. Now, once I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and add another movement input with a pair of parentheses that has a right direction as a parameter. Okay, and then my scale value is going to be my movement vector dot x-axis, ending with a semicolon. And that's like very much it for this. Okay, now for the binding, the final linking part. Under my bind section here, I'm gonna go ahead and bind my player. So cast to enhanced input. I'm gonna add a comment that says something like cast to enhanced input component. Okay, to do this, I'm gonna go ahead and add a if statement that checks something. I'm gonna say something like if you enhanced enhanced if you enhanced input component, which is going to be represented, I think I spelled it wrong, INPUT. Guys, I keep making typos, but I still type quickly. I gotta type a bit slower, which is going to be represented by a enhanced input components is a local variable that is going to be equal to a cast. I'm going to add a cast that is cast checked. There are so many new functions that I gotta learn here. Okay, actually so many new syntaxes. Okay, let's go with something like cast checked, which is gonna have something like u enhanced input component. Okay, which is gonna be player input component. Let's go with something like player input component. There we go. Okay, I won't say this part is hard actually. I gotta just work a bit more on this. And then I'm gonna scroll down and then add another comment that says something like bind the move action. Let's go with something like a bind. What up, guys? What up, guys? I think I got like a message from my sister, but I think that's fine. I can reply in a bit. Let's go with bind the move action. Okay, with the exclamation. Now, actually, guys, exclamation is not like important or like necessary. I just like to write it the exact same way, so it's later on easier for me to like understand what the context actually meant. But I'm gonna add a nested if statement that says something like move action. Okay, and then I go with the pair of curly braces. Now, inside my move action, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Add a if statement there. I did not add a pair of curly braces. What up, guys? Give me a second here real quick. Let's go all the way there. I'm gonna add a pair of curly braces. It opens here. And let's say I suppose it closes here. Now, inside my move action, I'm gonna go ahead and add something like enhanced input component. ENHANCD input component. Okay, my enhanced input component is gonna be pointing towards a bind action. I see. This is going to be something like move action. Okay, bind action, ACTION, move action. Then I'm going to go with something like a comma. And then I'm going to go with something like E trigger event. Okay, I see how it works and all that stuff. Okay, I'm going to use a scope resolution operator and go with something like trigger. If this is, oh, I've used this function before, I know what it means. I'm gonna go ahead and call my aimAges move function. And this is pretty much it for this. My trigger, TRIGGERED, triggered this mage move, aimage move. There. Okay, so basically what this function means, enhanced input component of my bind action requires a few parameters. But since this represents from my input component, I gotta go ahead and give my, so let's see, my action. So this is going to be my move action. Do I have it somewhere? So I'm assuming my move action is inside my Unreal Engine. In my content drawer, I have a IA move. I don't have move action. Is my move action here? That is my mapping. That is IA move. I'm assuming, gotta ask this question. I'll ask the question, what is the move action for? But then the second parameter is gonna be my E trigger event, which is triggered. Object this, what do I want to do? I want to do this function stuff. Then I ended with a semicolon. Now, if I read Control S to save the code here, Control S to save the code here, get my Unreal Engine up here. Let's go ahead and open my Unreal Engine. Okay, speaking of Unreal Engine, I want to get my chat up here real quick. There we go. And guys, let me know if the stream is actually lagging. Okay, let's go all the way down here. I'm gonna go ahead and just increase the size a little. Good there. So can I go down? There we go. Okay, how up am I? I mean, I won't say this is like necessary to go all the way down. Can I go faster? Okay, so let's go lower, lower, lower. I mean, it's not like necessary to go all the way down here, guys. This is just my OCD triggering. Okay, I want to go all the way down. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and let's say open my Unreal Engine. In my Unreal Engine, let's hit Ctrl Alt F11 to compile. I forgot that does not work. I'm gonna go with something like live compile. There we go. I'm gonna be compiling my code here real quick. Okay, while it's compiling, I am kind of starving, so I might drink some water. There we go, it said live coding successful. Okay, can I go a bit more to the left? I think I can go a bit more to the left there. Now, if I were to go ahead and open my content drawer, let me actually decrease my floors' size. Let's click something like R. There. That should be good. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and click W again. I'm going to go to my content drawer. Let's go to C/C++ classes. I'm going to drop my mages class here. Go a bit lower, get this a bit higher. Go a bit to the back. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click my mage. In my mage, I'm going to go to my details, click the add, and I'm going to go ahead and add a static mesh. This is going to be my mage's mesh, but for the time being, even inside, let me increase the size, there we go. Even inside my static mesh right here, There we go. I won't be able to add a mesh here because I did not load any kind of meshes, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and decrease the size here. I'm gonna go ahead and copy these, open my content drawer, go to something like content. Okay, go ahead and copy these, drag it, and drop all 3 folders here. I want to import my first folder, I want to create a new folder, import my 3rd folder. There we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and open my chat up here real quick. Can I see the chat up here? That'll be real helpful. Cannot? Okay, I mean, that's fine. Okay, let's open my chat here real quick. Guys, I have so many windows open right now. Okay, let's get that up there. There we go. Guys, I have like way too many windows open right now. Okay, so these are all the meshes that I've actually made using Blender, and even my PNGs that I've made using like DaVinci. Auto saving data. I want to go ahead and save this part. Let's save everything. I gotta make sure everything is saved. There. Show assets. Did something mess up while saving? Okay, hold up guys. Where's my Unreal Engine? Did something mess up? There. I want to go ahead and decrease the size and hit X. I'm assuming everything is saved. I'll hit Control S. Now, if I were to go ahead and click this plus button, type something like Mage, I can get my Mage's PNG that I made. I'm gonna go ahead and move my static mesh a bit to the front, a bit to the left. Alright, perfect. There we go, there's my Mage. Now, I want to go ahead and maybe decrease the size of my Mage. Is stuff lagging? Guys, let me know if the stream is lagging. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and click my Mage, go to static mesh. I want to get this there. There, now I want to get my Mage a bit lower. Let's go ahead and get my entire Mage lower. And then I'm gonna click R, I want to decrease the size of my Mage. And then I'm gonna click W, I want to get my Mage lower. There. Okay, that's good now, that's good. Okay, now speaking of good, I'm gonna go ahead and get this a little back now. I'm gonna add a few components. This is not what Gemini said me to do, but I do want to add camera and all that stuff. Gemini did not like tell me to do that, but I think I want to actually do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and include, let's say something from my game framework. From my game framework, I want to go ahead and include my spring arm component. So game framework / spring arm component .h, which is my spring arm component and its header files. Then I'm gonna go ahead and include my camera component from my camera. So let's go with camera / camera component .h, which is my camera components as header files. Now, once I'm done including those 2 things, I'm gonna go ahead and scroll all the way down here until I don't find my protected data member. In my protected data member, I'm gonna go ahead and add a comment that says something like camera boom, which is basically going to be my spring arm component. Now my camera boom is going to be, let's say, having a U property. Okay, I want my camera boom to be visible anywhere. I want to be able to see it in my blueprint or in my level. I want it to be blueprint read only. I want my blueprint to only read my camera, not actually edit it or something. And I want my category to be something like camera. This is going to be a new category. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and create, let's say something like a U spring arm component. Okay, which is going to be represented by, let's say something like a camera boom, ending with a semicolon. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and add a comment that says follow camera. Follow camera is gonna be my actual camera component that's gonna be following my camera boom / my spring arm component wherever it goes. So I'm going to be requiring a U property that says it's going to be visible anywhere. Okay, and then I'm going to have it to be blueprint read only. Let's go with blueprint read only. And lastly, my category is going to be equal to something like camera. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and create a U camera component. Let's go with U camera component, which is going to be represented by a follow cameras as pointer, ending with a semicolon. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go to my C++ file and define it. Okay, so I declared my functions. Here I'm going to define it inside my C++, property, visible anywhere, blueprint read only, category camera. Now, why do I see it red on your line? Guys, I'm positive it's just my editor. So I'm going to go all the way up here. I can't use my move function as well. camera CMERA slash CMERA CMPONENT spring arm COMPONENT dot H game framework. Okay, I mean, it's definitely my editor, guys. Okay, now speaking of that, inside my constructor, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say create a default sub object for my camera boom. Camera boom is going to be equal to the create default sub objects function. Okay, actually our function, I'm gonna go with a pair of ankle braces and then add my use spring arm component in here. Okay, then I'm gonna go with a pair of parentheses and then I'm gonna add a text and call my camera boom something like camera boom. Okay, once I'm done with that, let's go ahead and remove this. There we go, camera boom. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Now, after I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and point my camera boom towards, let's say, something like the setup attachments section. Okay, I wanna go ahead and set up a root component. Basically, what the root component does is it lets me move, turn, rotate, or scale my camera. With me actually being able to see it do that stuff, without root component, I wouldn't be able to see it move, turn, rotate, or being scaled. Okay, once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and point my camera boom towards the let's say target arm length. The reason I am like adding a target arm length, there we go. The reason I'm adding a target arm length to be something like 400.0f is because basically camera boom or spring arm component is like a selfie stick. I gotta extend it because I don't want my camera boom to be like stuck in front of my player. I want it to be 400 centimeters away from my player. Okay, and then lastly, I'm gonna go with something like my camera boom. I'm gonna go ahead and point it towards, let's say something like a Boolean variable of pawn control rotation, which is going to be set to true, ending with a semicolon. Okay, use pawn control rotation, Boolean variable of use pawn control rotation. Once I'm done with all that, I'm gonna go ahead and create another default sub object for my follow camera, which is going to be equal to my create default sub objects function with a pair of ankle braces, which is going to be having a use spring arm component. Okay, with a pair of parentheses that has a text that is going to be called something like follow camera. Let's go with something like follow camera. Okay, perfect. And then I go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Now, create default sub objects spelling is wrong. Create default sub object. There. Now, once I'm done with this part as well, I'm gonna go ahead and go down and let's say point my follow camera towards a setup attachment as well, exactly the same. Excuse me, guys, exactly the same as my camera boom. Okay, but this time I want my follow camera to be the child of my camera boom. I want my root component to be my camera boom. What this basically does is instead of my follow camera being an independent variable, he's going to be having his root inside my follow camera. So actually inside my camera boom. So it's going to be following or stuck to my actual spring arm component, if that makes any sense. A value of use spring arm component. This is going to be a u camera component. There we go. Component. Camera component. Alright, perfect. Once I'm done with that, lastly, I'm going to go with something like follow camera. I'm going to go with something like, it's going to be pointing towards a Boolean, use pawn control rotation, which is going to be equal to something like false, ending with a semicolon. And guys, for the time being, I cannot like explain it properly because like I am still learning this part and all that stuff, but I feel like I am getting a pretty good gist of what this means. But eventually, once I get a bit better at this stuff, I will be getting better at the explanation here as well. Speaking of getting better explanations, I'm done creating my objects here. Is there something I want to do here? Maybe nothing. I'm gonna hit Control S to save the code, Control S to save the code. That's pretty much it. Let's open my Unreal Engine, go with something like live, and let's compile my code. Compile. Okay, let's wait for it to compile. While it's compiling, I might drink some water because I want to be a bit hydrated. There we go, it says results succeeded. Now, let's go ahead. I have my camera up here, so that's perfect. Okay, so this is my camera, and guys, this is the spring arm component. Oops, the red line that you guys see. And here, is my stream lagging when I go here? Because it is kind of laggy for me. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and run the code now. Before I run the code, I forgot one thing, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and type something like possess, because I gotta go ahead and set my auto possess to be player 0. Whoops, let's go with player 0. Now, let's go with something like live. I want to go ahead and compile. While it's compiling, I'm going to go ahead and remove that. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and compile. Because we got to set our auto player possess to be 0 so we can see from our camera's point of view. Okay, that said, let's wait for this to happen. While it's being done, I'm going to go ahead and run the code. Now, this is my player. Okay, I cannot turn around. Let's go ahead and hit something like Shift F1. Wait, guys, was it just that my game was lagging or my Unreal was lagging? Let's run the code again. I cannot move or turn my screen. Is something wrong with the enhanced inputs? Let's go with Control A, Control C, copy that. Let's get Gemini up here. There we go. Let's go ahead and paste it. Go with Shift Enter. And paste this here as well. Let's go with Control A, Control C. Okay, let's get Gemini back here. Override it. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this. Now, let me go ahead and say something like, say, this is my .cpp and my .h files is code. I tried to compile it. It did compile, but I cannot move or turn my player. Okay, let's see. Okay, don't you throw in the towel yet? It compiled good. That means your syntax is finally trying to look like a programmer's and not a toddler's scribble. Not like a toddler's scribbles, but compile doesn't mean done. In Unreal, C++ is the skeleton, but Blueprint is the skin and the brain. If you can't move, it's almost certainly because you skipped physical connection I warned you about. Sensei's investigation, the Blueprint assignment, most likely culprit. You created C++, but there are empty pointers right now. Open your Mage's Blueprint. Okay, the one based on your C++ class. Look at the details panel in your input category. Did you drag IMC default into the slot? Did you drag IA move into the slot? If the boxes says none, your code is trying to talk to a ghost. Oh, I didn't do that. The possession problem, I said this possession. The IA move setting, go back to IA move folder. It must be access to the... Okay, I think I see. It's the first issue Blueprint. So I'm gonna go ahead and open my Unreal Engine. Let's go to something like content. I'm gonna go to something like my Blueprint. Okay, let's go to my details panel. Increase this a bit. Type something like input. Can I not type input? Advanced. Oh wait, was it under my inputs? Wait, hold up, guys. Let me get Gemini up here. Open your Mage Blueprint. My Mage's Blueprint. The one based on your C++ class. Look in the details panel for your input category. Do I even have an input category? So let's remove this. Do I have an input category here? Advanced. Let me get this a bit higher. Okay. Oh wait, my bad, guys. I had it in the wrong class. There we go. Let's go with something like input. Okay, so my input says none. This is going to be IMC default. That is going to be IA look. That is going to be IA move. Oh, I see. I didn't do this. There we go. Now, let's go ahead and hit something. Let's compile again. I'm going to go with something like live compile. Let's hit something like enter and wait for it to compile. While it's compiling, I might actually drink some water because I am kind of starving. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and exit this and run the code. There we go. Oops, I paused it. There we go. Oh, I can actually move. Alright guys, I did like a small mistake. I can move using my mouse, not my keyboard. Did I mess something up there? I can move using my mouse just towards the left and right. Let's do something like escape. Now I'm gonna go with something like IMC default. Let's go here. Okay, let's go ahead and extend that. Let's go ahead and extend that as well. Can I decrease the size? Oops, I cannot. Okay, no modifiers. I have a modifier of negate. I have a modifier of negate. And these are my 4 input mappings. Let's go with something like, let's close that. There we go. Let's go with something like Windows Alt S and then copy this. There, let's see if my this part is correct. I'm gonna go ahead and decrease the size from there, get Gemini up here. Let's paste this in Gemini. Guys, I'm so glad Gemini can take so many pictures without a limit. Now, let's say something like, say, it was the blueprints issue, but I fixed that. I can move now, but only using my mouse's x-axis. I can move horizontally, okay, but not using my keys. Did I do this part correct? Question mark. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me go ahead and get my chat up here as well. There we go. Okay, well, Sensei's thinking maybe I bring some more water because I am kind of starving. Oh, I see, it's analyzing the image. That's good. Okay, I see the problem. You're so close that I can almost taste the victory, but you tripped on the very last hurdle. Your screenshot shows exactly why your mouse is working, but your keyboard is acting dead. Look at screenshot. The negate trap. You added negate modifier to the A key, but look at the checkbox. Look at the checkbox under it. You have X, Y, and Z all checked for a 2D movement vector. You only need negate the values coming from the specific key, the Swizzle secret. This is what's killing your W/S movement by default. Keyboard keys return a single value 1.0 in your IA move, which is a 2D vector. W and S both send their values to the x-axis by default to make W and S move your forward/backward. The fixed list. Do this now. Go back to your IMC_default and fix these 3 things. Fix W and S front and back. W, add modifier, swizzle input axis values. This moves signal from X to Y. For S, add modifier, swizzle input axis values. For S, add a second modifier of negate. Okay, fix A key, and that's pretty much it. Let me go ahead and get Gemini in the other window because I do want to see the reference while I actually write it. There, let's go all the way down. Although I think I did like understand by like seeing it, but let's go all the way down. Alright, up guys, still scrolling. I wish I could like see a scroll bar and like just scroll down all at once. Okay, that's it. Let's keep going down. How down do I go? There we go, finally. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open my Unreal Engine. In my Unreal Engine is IMC default. In my IA move, okay, the fix the W. For W, add a modifier. Swizz input axis. Let's go with Swizz input axis values. Okay, for S, Swizz input axis values. So for S, excuse me guys, I'm gonna add another modifier. 2 modifiers. Swizz input axis values. Maybe I change that to something like Swizz input axis values and this to negate. Okay, and then I go for A, the left key. For A, you have to negate. You have negate already, but uncheck Y and Z. Uncheck Y and Z. Only X should be checked, or just leave the default settings. Keyboards are 1D. Fix the mouse. For mouse Y, add modifier negate. For mouse's Y-axis, I'm gonna add a modifier of negate. Unless you like inverted controls like a fighting simulator pilot pushing stuff. Okay, that's pretty much it. Let's go to my Untitled real quick. Let me get my chat up here. Okay, let's get Gemini in my window here. Then maybe zoom in a bit. There, now I'm gonna go up here. Let's go ahead and compile my code. I'm gonna go with something like live compile. There, and then let's hit something like enter. While it's compiling, I might drink some water real quick because I am kind of thirsty. Okay, now for my I'm gonna go ahead and exit this and run the code real quick. I can still move towards the left and right using my keyboard, but not my mouse. Let's hit escape. Did I miss something here? Okay, I'm assuming my S does not require these checks. Okay, let's go ahead and try compiling. Again, I'm gonna go with something like live compile. Okay, let's go with something like live compile. I'm gonna compile this real quick. Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and run the code real quick. I cannot churn, move, churn, rotate. Okay, the reason I can't churn, I mean, I did add yaw input. Okay, I still cannot churn. Okay, wait, let's get Gemini up here. And let's say, wait, let me take a whole picture and show what I like did here. Okay, let's go all the way up there. Okay, there are like a bunch of things here. Maybe I'm going to take pictures in segments. Let's go with something like Control Alt S. Let's go ahead and take a picture of this. Okay, am I showing my modifiers? I am showing my modifiers. Then I'm going to scroll down. Go with Windows Shift S. Let's take another picture. There. Okay, let's take a picture of that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and decrease this. Get Gemini up here. There, I'm going to go ahead and paste my pictures. Let me go ahead and delete this first. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this here and then paste that here as well. Guys, I love the feature where we can like send pictures. Let's say something like Sensei. These are the changes I made. Okay, let's go ahead and just delete these extras. There, let me get my chat up here real quick. So there we go. Okay, perfect. You did it. Look at that beautiful congratulations configuration. You actually listen and applied Swizz and negate. Okay, but let me say something like, did I not compile it properly? Because I still move. Let's go with something like, so let's go with properly. Because I still move towards the left and right using my mouse, and my keyboard does not work. Is it because actually keyboard does not work? Okay, let's see. Okay, don't you blame the compiler for a wiring error. If the code compiled and the game is running, the logic is there, but the signal is getting crossed. If you're moving with the mouse, it means mouse x-axis is being sent to IA move action instead of IA look. Oh, I see. Okay, what if I actually went up here, click my mage, okay, scrolled all the way back here, went with something like input. What if I change this to, this is move action, look action. Okay, let's go with Control Shift this thing. Let's copy this part. Does that part look correct? Let me go ahead and get Gemini all the way up here. Okay, I move only WASD. Okay, let's go ahead and get this. Let's say, does this part look good? Question mark. Okay, let's go ahead and get back up here. There. Okay, you were close, but swapped your wires. Okay, right at the finish line, look at your blueprint screenshot, the wiring error, look at these slots. Move action, you have IA look. In this slot, look action has IA move. Look action has IA move. Move action has, oh. Okay, I knew that there was something wrong, but I even read this and I couldn't figure this far out. This is gonna be IA move, that is gonna be IA look. because that is look action. So IA look, move action is IA move. Now let's go ahead and compile real quick. Let's go with something like live compile. Hit enter. Let's wait for it to compile. Okay, let me go ahead and run the code now. Can I move? I still move using my mouse, but this time it's like even worse. Wait, how am I moving using my mouse? Let's escape real quick. Oh wait, I'm moving using my keyboard. I cannot go forward or backwards, but I can move towards the left and move towards the right using my keyboard. That's good. I cannot turn though. I see. Let's go ahead and get... Before I do that, maybe I want to change my camera. It might be my camera's an issue. Okay, let's go ahead and click my camera. Let's go ahead and increase the size. Follow camera. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get myself a little higher. And then I'm gonna hit something like R. Maybe something like E to rotate. I'm gonna get myself a bit lower. There. And then let's go with W. I want to go a bit higher. That's good. And then I want to go a bit back. Now let's go ahead and compile again. Let me go with something like live compile. Because sometimes it is like because of my camera that I can't actually rotate my player. Go ahead and exit that. Run the code real quick. There, I can move towards the left, towards the right. I cannot go forward, backwards, or turn myself. I see. Let's get Gemini back up here. Okay, let's say something like... Wait. Okay, let's say something like, since I changed it and now I can move towards the left and right. Let's go with left and right using A and D, but I cannot turn using my mouse. Let's go with mouse, and my W and S does not work. Does not work. Okay, let's see. I see the finish line, but you're running in circles. We have fixed the S and A keys, but now we have to deal with the WS axis and mouse logic. The sensation diagnostic WS Swiss check. In your code, you use movement vector and y-axis forward and backward, since W and S are keyboard keys and they default to the x-axis. Look at your IMC underscore default screenshot for the W and S keys. You must ensure the Swiss input axis value is set to YXZ. This tells the engine to take one value. Oh, I see. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here. Let's go here. I'm gonna go ahead and check my Y and Z as well for my A. Okay, so Y and Z. I go to Y and Z. Okay, I see. Okay, let's go ahead and try running again. I'm gonna go ahead and type something like live compile because I'm trying to understand what this part actually means. I disabled going Y and Z, so I can't go in the Z axis or in the Y. I can just move in the X axis. This should work. Forward, backwards. I can go left. I can go right. I see. Okay, now I'm gonna go back up here. So for my A, under my modifiers, I have my S and A modifier. Okay, I have my modifiers. That's my W. Let's see my W's as modifiers. I have Swiss. Okay, let's close W. W is correct. Swiss input axis values. And then S. WS. Why do I have an A here? IA move WSAD. For my S, I have modifier. Okay, for my S, I have modifier. Swiss negate. Let's allow S is going to go down. So I need to go towards Y and X. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and close this. And then let's go ahead and find my A. For my A is just negate. That's correct. And then for my D. Okay, my D is a negate. Okay, where is negate for D? I don't see a negate here. Let's go with something like negate. And then I gotta add another modifier. That's for Swiss input axis. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and close my D now. And then my input x-axis. Is it because I have 0 triggers? add modifiers. Okay, let's copy this part for the time being, because it might be because I have 0 triggers that I can't like really move my stuff. Let me delete this part real quick. Go with Windows Shift S, take a picture. There we go. Let's go ahead and take a picture of this. Let me go ahead and get my other chat here. Before that, I'm going to go with Control Alt F11. Why does it not work? Can I enable live coding? Let's enable live coding. Okay, I'm assuming live coding is enabled. Control Alt F11 does not work. Fine, I'll go with live coding compile. Let's hit something like enter. While it's compiling, I might drink some water because I am kind of starving. Successfully patched. Now if I were to go ahead and run the code, fingers crossed. Forward doesn't work, backward doesn't work, left and right works. My D does not work as well. Okay, probably I messed something up here. So for my D, maybe because I added a Swiss input here, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. Let's go ahead and reset that part. Okay, I did not need a negate as well for my D. There was nothing for my D, right? Okay, was there just a Swiss input for my D? Maybe I have 2 modifiers here. Okay, let's go on remove modifier. How do you delete a modifier? Hello, how are you doing? I appreciate you joining the stream. I can't actually pronounce your name. It's written like Arabic. That's it. Let's go up here. Let's go with something like... I think it just had a negate here. Okay, let's go here. Let's type something like live. I'm gonna go with something like live compile. While it's compiling, I might hydrate my lips up real quick. Okay, so it's successfully patched. I'm gonna go ahead and run the code. Can I go towards the left? Okay, any button pushes me towards the left now. To fix that, I have my D. For my D, hold on guys. Maybe I'm going to remove this and this. I just want to go towards the left axis. This is going to be negate. Instead, I might have Swiss input axis. Let's go here. Let's type something like live. Live compile. There, let's go ahead and run the code. Let's see what happens. Okay, there we go. Result succeeded. Let's go ahead and run the code. I can go towards the right, but I cannot go towards the left. Where did I mess up? Hold on, guys. Let's go ahead and hit something like escape. There. Now let me go all the way up here. So, my D, I add modifiers. I want to go ahead and delete it. There, let's add a modifier. My D, I'm positive it needed a negate. Okay, and then S has Swiss and negate. And then my negate has everything checked. Okay, I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna go ahead and open W. My W has a modifier of Swiss. Okay, W has a modifier of Swiss. Let's go with something like A. A has a modifier of negate. Okay, it has negate as modifier. Everything is checked. Okay, did my D not have any modifiers in general? Okay, I might try it without any modifiers. What are you doing? Honestly, I am like working on the enhanced inputs in like Unreal Engine using C++. That's it. I'm gonna go ahead and compile this. Okay, but for some reason I messed something up by like trying to fix that part, but I'm trying to like fix it back here. Let's run the code. There we go. Okay, my D did not need any modifiers. Now I can move around. But I cannot move towards the left and right, so I'm gonna get something like Gemini slash say here. Let's go ahead and paste this here. Okay, let's get my chat back up here. Now let's say something like, let's say I still can't turn around or use, excuse me guys, W or S. Okay, is it because I don't need a negate, or Swiss for them I did not add a negate, or Swiss for my D and it worked. And also for my turn, did I need to add triggers or modifiers for it? Question mark. Okay, let's see, how old are you? Honestly, I am like 18. I like turned 18, let's say at January 5th, 4 days ago. Okay, I see the problem. You're so close to greatness, but you're still fighting the logic of how 2D vectors work. Listen to me carefully. Okay, wait, before 2D vectors, let me go ahead and change this. Let's say something like, and I have a, let's go with something like, I have a mesh from Blender as my mage's character's static mesh. Okay, let's hit enter. Now, while it's analyzing, let's see. I see the problem. You're so close to greatness, but you're tripped over the Unreal's math logic hurdle. Don't you dare give up now. We're going to fix this right here, live on stream. The sensei's diagnosis. Look at your screenshots. The keyboard is half dead, and your mouse is frozen because of 3 specific things I see in your image. The Swiss logic. 3 specific things I see in your image. I see. The Swiss logic YWS doesn't work. Look at your move function in C++. You wrote add movement input forward direction. Movement vector y-axis. This tells the computer use the y-axis value to move forward, but a keyboard like W is one-dimensional. It only sends value on the x-axis. You're fixed. You must keep the Swiss input axis W and S. Okay, it swaps the signals from X to Y so your code can see it. Settings, set your Swiss XYZ. This makes set your Z to YXZ. This makes W and S talk to forward part of your code. A and D logic. You said D worked without anything. That's because D naturally is positive X and your code uses movement vector X for the right direction. Oh, I see. Okay, A needs negate, make it -1. D needs nothing. You got this part right. Why you can turn the move binding? I looked at setup layer component. Okay, code in this previous message, you bound the move action, but you forgot to bind the look action. Even if the assets are in the right slots in the blueprint, if you don't tell the C++ to listen to your look action, the mouse won't do anything. Firstly, I'm going to change it to YXZ. Let's open my Unreal Engine up here real quick. There, so I'm gonna go here and change my negate for my W to be YXZ. It is YXZ. Okay, so one direction. The setting set Swiss order to YXZ. Swiss order to YXZ. Okay, so my Swiss order to be YXZ. It is set to YXZ. Okay, but the second thing, okay, is that the fix. Okay, in the editor, go to IMC default, set and ensure it matches exactly. Y key modifier, Swiss axis, order YXZ, S key modifier, YXZ modifier to negate. Oh, negate is negative, I see. Mouse Y modifier negate, this prevents inverted controls, YXZ. So, for my S, I'm gonna go to my S, close my W, let's open my S. Modifiers, Swiss, by order, is it negate? YXZ, negate, that's correct. Okay, let's close this up again. Let's go ahead and get Gemini back here. Now, my mouse has negate, okay, step by step, negate. Okay, in my C++ file, go to your main.c++ and update set player input component. You're missing this binding. Okay, bind mouse, look action. This is my code right now. Make sure to your look function. So wait, what am I missing? Go to your update. You're missing the look binding. This is enhanced input, bind move. This is my move action. This is my look action. Let me copy my look action. Okay, now let me go ahead and fact check that. I have my move action, but I do not have my look action. This is number 2. Look action. Let's set this to be number 1. Okay, let's get Gemini back up here. Step 3, look at the function logic. Make your look function actually has the code, okay? look axis. Let's copy this part. Add controller yaw input, add controller pitch input. I knew we were missing pitch, but then pitch wouldn't really make sense here. I have add controller yaw input. Wait, where was that part again? Pitch input is for the y-axis. This is my look function. Okay, if I copy the whole function, let's go here to my look function. I called my, I have my move function up here, but I do not have my look function. So I'm going to go ahead and paste this here. That is my look function. Let's hit something like Control S to save the code, Control S to save the code, get my Unreal Engine here. Let's go ahead and type something like live compile. Let's go ahead and live compile my code, hit enter. And now let's see, while it's compiling, I might drink some water because I am kind of starving actually. Okay, now let's go ahead and exit this. Let's run my code real quick. It goes very, very quick, but I feel it works. I can go towards the left. Whoa, it's fast. Guys, is it just me or does enhanced input usually look like this? Okay, but W and S does not work. Okay, now I gotta just fix my W and S triggers with XYZ. This is my W, that is my S. Let's go ahead and just delete one of my images from there real quick. Let's go ahead and delete that. Now I'm gonna go with Shift F11. Actually, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this part real quick. There. Let's go ahead and take a screenshot. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get Gemini here. Let's go ahead and paste this picture up there. Let's go ahead and open my chat real quick from here. There we go. Okay, now let's say something like, say, the rotation actually works now, exclamation, but my W and S does not. This is the picture of it. Okay, did I show my modifiers or did I not? I think I did not show my modifiers, guys. Okay, Victory, the mouse is alive. You've conquered the look action binding, and that is a massive hurdle, but don't start celebrating yet. Your mage is still refusing to walk forward because of one tiny stubborn detail in your Swiss settings. W/S diagnosis. Okay, look at your screenshot. So you have the squiz input axis value set to YXZ. This is correct for the logic, but add the negate modifier on your S in your previous screenshot, XYZ. Check for negate. Latest negate collapsed. The fix post Swiss when you have. Okay, when you use a Swiss YXZ, you're moving the keys from the X-axis to the Y-axis. For the Y key, the Swiss YXZ is all you need. So for the Y-axis, YXZ is all I need. This sends +1. For the S, first keep Swiss YXZ, second negate. Oh, I see. So I think the place that I was messing up is first I gotta add YXZ, second negate. Isn't this YXZ, guys? Am I blind? Okay, first I gotta go ahead and add my Swiss YXZ and then I gotta add negate, but isn't that exactly what I've done here? Okay, YXZ and YXZ. I think that's exactly what I did. Let me read that part again. Did I miss something? For the W key, the Swiss YXZ. Wait, let me say something like, let's say, in my screenshot that I sent you, isn't that what I did, question mark, or am I missing the key point here? Huh. Okay, let's see. Listen to me, you're starting at the puzzle, you're staring at the puzzle pieces, but you haven't snapped them together yet. You did add the modifiers, but there is a hidden detail in the negate modifier that is currently sabotaging your W and S. The hidden detail you missed, look closely at your screenshot. You have the Swiss and the negate on the S key, okay? However, when you swizzle a keyboard key, which is normally just an X-axis signal to the Y-axis, you're moving the data to a new lane. The key point, if your negate modifier is only set to flip X-axis, Okay, now it's empty. The exact W and S, Y, X, Z. Do not add negate to the W. It should be positive. Y, X, Z, open negate. Click settings, expanded, critical. Check, uncheck X and check Y because you Swiss the value to Y. You must negate the Y value to move backwards. I see. Let's open my Unreal Engine here real quick. Now, I gotta go to negate for my S. There we go. I gotta only have my Y checked. I think I see. Okay, and then let's go with the index up here. Okay, I do not need a negate for my W, but I have a negate for my Y. I think this should work. Let's go with Control Alt F11. That does not work. I keep forgetting. Let's go with something like live compile. There we go. Let's hit enter. Let's wait for it to compile. While it's compiling, I might actually drink some water. Do you know anything about mechatronics? Honestly, I haven't heard of that. What's it about actually? Is it about mechanics and all that stuff? Okay, that's let me go ahead and run the code real quick. Okay, because I'm positive this should work this time. Okay, it does not. I can still move towards the left and right. Am I missing something? Let me see this carefully here. So for my W, if I understood what I understood properly is that my Swiss input access, okay, I can insert, delete, duplicate. My order is going to be YXZ for my X, and then for my S, I have a Swiss input access value, and then I have a negate for a negative value here. But why does it not work? Maybe I go ahead and maybe go with Windows Shift S to copy this part. Let's go ahead and take a screenshot real quick. And then, where are you from? Honestly, I do live abroad, but I can't actually give the exact country where I'm from. Let's go all the way up here. Whoops, let me actually decrease that real quick. Hold up, guys, let me go ahead and paste my picture here and maybe delete these old images so I have space for new. And guys, I love the feature that I can send all the images that I want to Gemini. Okay, let me go ahead and open my chat as well. Now, let's say something like, Sensei, I did this now, but I still cannot move to the, I still cannot move, excuse me guys, using W and A. Is it a different issue, question mark? Okay, let's see, because I might know one more thing that might be messing up here. Okay, you're so close, I can feel the magic starting to spark. You fixed the negate on the S key perfectly. In the last screenshot, unchecking X and Y, that is exactly the lane change. If you still can't move forward and backward, we're down to the very last possible culprit. It's not your logic, it's not the wiring, it's the type of data. IA move asset is allowed to hold the final boss. If IA move is set to digital, it only turn on and off. Go to content browser, IA move asset, the one with the controller icon. Double click, look for the values. If it says digital boolean, change it to 2D axis. This was actually somehow Gemini actually read my mind. Maybe this was the only other issue, but that was what I was thinking, because the first very important stuff that Gemini said me to do and I did not do was inside my input. I had to get my IA move inside my IMC default. If I were to double click and open this, it says digital boolean. It should be 2D vector. There we go. Now let me go ahead and live compile. Let's go with something like live compile. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and hit enter. While it's compiling, I might drink some water because I am kind of starving. Okay, now let's go ahead and run the code real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and run the code. This should work. There we go. I can move forwards, I can move backwards, I can move towards the left, towards the right. Enhanced input mapping is done. Let's do something like escape. Now, I want to get my camera. Before that, let me just get Gemini up here again and see something like, Sensei, it worked. It worked, exclamation. That was the actual issue. Okay, let's see. Ta-ta. Okay, stand back everyone. We have a legitimate programmer in the building. Ta-ta-ta. All the basic stuff. I just wanted to let Gemini know, but now I want to do a tiny modification. For my camera, I want to go ahead and get my camera. Let's go ahead and reset its positions. So my follow camera is right here. I'm going to go ahead and extend this real quick. Hold on, guys. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and reset. There. And then I want to go ahead and rotate my camera. Maybe I just want to get it in front. because I want it to be like a first person perspective. Okay, I want my head to be my camera. Let's go a bit more in front. There we go. I want to get it higher. There, it might look that I'm looking towards the back, but this is the actual position here. Now, let's go ahead and close this up because I want to move in a first person perspective. Let's go ahead and type something like live. I want to go ahead and live compile. There, let's wait for it to live compile. There we go. Okay, result succeeded. Now let's go ahead and run the code. There we go. This is my first person. Whoa, guys, the sensitivity is actually kind of insane. How do I decrease the sensitivity? This is way too quick. There we go. At least I can move around. I can go towards the left, towards the right, forwards and backwards. If I look forward, I can still turn myself. If I look towards the right and left, I can still turn myself. There's a tiny issue up there. Okay, let me go ahead and get Gemini up here. Let's see something like, let's say, although I see a tiny mistake here, when I move my mouse in the y-axis, I still turn and turn very fast, like my sensitivity. Let's go with sensitivity. My sensitivity is really high. Okay, my sensitivity is really high. I move really fast. Okay, I move when am I going the vertical as well. Okay, don't your spit out of control. Now we finally got the legs working. We can't have your mage getting motion sickness. The reason you're spinning at top speed is that your look function is currently possessed raw mouse delta values every single frame without any scaling. By default, the mouse sends a lot of data, and if we don't multiply it by sensitivity, okay, value, or use a word delta time, it feels like you're on a caffeine overdose. The sensitivity calibration we need to fix in two pieces: the code and the assets. The code, mage.c++, we need to multiply the input by sensitivity factor, update your look function like this. Okay, so let's go to my look function. And guys, I am just copying this for the time being to check if it actually worked. Okay, which I was pretty lucky and it did actually kind of work. Let's go ahead and paste this, and later on I will practice this code up. That's it. Let's do something a controller to save the code. I do not need a pitch input, honestly. I'm gonna go ahead and get my Unreal Engine here. Let's go with something like live compile. Okay, and guys, I do want to use a restroom as well. That's it. Let's see. So, okay, I'm live compiling. It is succeeded. Let's go ahead and exit this, run the code. Now, well, that is still really fast. Even though it's not as fast, what if I go ahead and cancel this, change that to something like 1? Let's go with something like 1.f, and then let's change that to something like 1.f as well. Hit Control S to save the code. Okay, and then let's go all the way up to my Unreal Engine. Let's type compile again. Maybe something like live. And then I'm going to go to the number 2 option. Hit enter. Let's wait for it to compile. I mean, I missed the Control Alt F11. That was pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and run the code. Whoa. Oh, I see. So the lower the better. If I go with 0.1, let's go with something like 0.1 as well. Okay, let's hit Control S to save the code, open my Unreal Engine, and then, oops, let's open my Unreal Engine, hit something like live, and then compile. Okay, let's see. Okay, it is compiling right now. Let's go ahead and exit this part. Let's run the code. There, that's much better. That's much better. But I want to go ahead and remove the pitch inputs from here because I would not actually need my pitch input. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Let's hit Control S again. Now let's go with something like live. I'm going to go with number 2 and compile it real quick because pitch input is for looking in the y-axis. I just want to turn towards the x-axis. Okay, let's go ahead and exit this real quick. Let's run the code. There we go. If I look up and down, I still move. I just want to move when I look towards the left and right. How do I remove my pitch input? Let's see. So I removed my pitch input. Did I go ahead and declare it somewhere up here? Okay, I just wanted to work in the yaw input. Okay, let's see. So, is there something with pitch? And guys, let me know for like my Tuesdays gaming stream, I did think of playing Wuthering Waves instead of like Genshin Impact. So let me know what you guys think about it. I will be adding a community post as well to like see if you guys prefer that more, because I feel like Genshin, it's like a lot of grinding for getting very little Primo Stones. Is more like It's more pay to win type stuff, but Wuthering Waves is like pretty good with graphics and all that stuff as well. Let's see, just look input. Okay, so I mean I fixed the speed, but then I still move when I look in the y-axis. Let's get this up here. Let's say something like, let's say that fixed the speed. Okay, let's go with something like SPEED. But I have another question. I I also turn, let's go with, I also turn if my mouse moves in the y-axis, but I did not need a pitch this time. I just needed yaw input, not pitch input. Wait a minute, if you're moving mouse up and down, y-axis make your character spin left and right. You've got a crossed wire in your logic, mouse X, check your mage.c++. Okay, right now it should look exactly like this. Well, I mean, it does look exactly like that. I could go ahead and paste this and it's going to look exactly like that. Okay, looking up and down. Let me change that to something like 0.1. Let's change that to 0.1 as well. Here's the thing. I did not add a mouse this thing. If I wanted, I could do that. I could go up here and then under my look, I can go ahead and add mouse's y-axis. I didn't add that. Okay, I actually added that. Please play Geometry Dash. Honestly, what's it about? I might actually try that as well. That's it. Let's hit Control S to save the code. Okay, is like Geometry Dash like a general open world game, or like is it like a gacha game or that kind of stuff? Okay. Okay, let me get sensei/chatgpt up here again. Let's say something like, why the pitch master? You mentioned you did not do a pitch this time at controller input. Let's say something like, I copied that part, but my pitch does not work. Okay, should I change something from my enhanced input mapping question mark? Okay, speaking of enhanced input mapping, I have x-axis and y-axis, don't I? Mouse X, mouse Y. Do I need to add modifiers or triggers here? Like I'll go with Control-Shift-S. Let's go ahead and copy that part. Okay, let's get Gemini up here again. Okay, is create platform. I might actually try that. Okay, because I might actually like post a community post and see which you guys prefer the most, but I might actually try Geometry Dash as well. If your yaw left right working with pitch up down isn't working, you need to check something. A font setting, the most likely culprit. On-build characters have specific settings. Okay. Open your Mage blueprint. In the details panel, search for use controller rotation pitch. Check this box. If it's off, the engine ignores your add controller pitch input to the spring arm. Since you have a camera boom, the spring arm in your code is actually controlling the camera's height. Oh, it's in my code. Root component, camera boom. Okay, that part is correct. I'm gonna go to my Unreal Engine and then I gotta go to my details panel, type something like pitch. Let's go to Mage, let's type something like pitch. Okay, let's get this a bit higher. Okay, camera boom, this is gonna be pitch. Because usually it is like because of my camera that I can't move. That makes more sense that I can't look up and down because of my camera. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the default modifier, look at your mouse Y. Negate, you should have negate modifier, mouse Y, so that pushing looks, oh, I see, okay, I did not have the negate modifier. Let's go here, let's go to mouse Y, I'm gonna go ahead and add a modifier. Let's have negate, I have a negate modifier. Okay, I mean, I have it. Let's go ahead and type something like compile. So, let's go with something like compile. Okay, let's decrease the sound from there. Okay, I look towards the left and right. Is there something in my code? Let me think carefully. I have a yaw rotation, but I don't have a pitch rotation. Okay, but let's go with something like, yeah, I don't have a pitch rotation up here, like a constant f vector of pitch rotation. Let's go with control A, control C, copy that, get Gemini up here, let's paste it. Let's say, this is my code. This is my code. I think that it might be because I don't have a pitch rotator like I have. Okay, this is my code. I think, okay, let's just say this is my code. Okay, you've got the logic in places. Blueprint permissions, check the pawn, open your maze blueprint, details this panel, use control rotation pitch. Make sure it's checked. Use control rotation pitch. Use control. Oh, it's not checked. Okay, use control rotation pitch. Oh, only yaw is checked. Pitch is not checked. No wonder. Okay, let's get this here. Let's go ahead and type something like live, compile the code. And guys, the reason I sound kind of dead is because I did not like eat anything, so I am kind of starving. Okay, so it says results succeeded. Let's go ahead and run the code. Left, right. I mean, I set it to be pitch. Okay, use control. Your rotation is set to pitch. Okay, I just set it to pitch. Check your IMC mouse Y modifier. Okay, mouse X should be raw, no modifiers. Mouse Y should have negate. No swizz. Okay, pitch input is going to be 0.1. Okay, let's go all the way back to my Unreal Engine. Let's check if my X modifier doesn't have any modifiers. My Y has a modifier. Wait, X doesn't have modifier, Y has modifier. Okay, let's go all the way down here, get Gemini up here. Let's paste this and say something like, my pitch was not checked, so I checked it, but I still can't move in my pitch rotation. Okay, and this is my IMC underscore default. This is area. Okay, let's see. Something went wrong. Try reloading this image. There. You've already uploaded the file name screenshot. Oh, I already did. Hold up, guys. In that case, let's go ahead and X this. Let's go ahead and delete that and take a new image. So I'm gonna go up there. Let's go with Windows Shift S. And now let's go with something like IA look. I'm gonna go here, no modifiers, and have a modifier there. There, let's go ahead and get Gemini back up here. Let's go ahead and paste this image. Okay, let's go ahead and send. Maybe I go ahead and reload. Okay, let's try reloading Gemini real quick, guys. Can't reach this page. Okay, maybe I go ahead and open Gemini again. Why can't it reach the page? Hold on, guys. Let me try it from here. Let's go with something like Google Gemini. Huh. Okay, check connection. My connection is good, guys. I guess this is like a sign I might actually figure this part out tomorrow. And that said, I mean, I usually get like a goodbye chat or something, or let me say something like, let's say I'm planning to end the stream right now. Guys, this ChatGPT doesn't even know that I started the stream, but let me say something like, so before I do end the stream, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers, question mark? Okay, so I am actually planning to end the stream right now because I'm actually looking to this off stream and I do gotta eat something. I'm starving. And guys, be sure to like check out my community post that I actually let me already added like right here. Let's go here, get my YouTube up here. Whoops. Let's go here. Let's go to your channel. I want to go ahead and create a post. Let's go with something like post. I'm going to create something like, maybe later on I might go ahead and create an image poll because I feel like text poll is kind of bland. I might do this later. Guys, ChatGPT is lagging as well. I don't know why. My Wi-Fi is going pretty good. I mean, that's fine. Okay, so let me actually go ahead and go to my main camera. Alright guys, so basically that was pretty much it for the stream. I don't know why it's like why was everything laggy and all that stuff. That's pretty much it for the stream. If you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, like helps my algorithm. Sharing makes you smile, subscribing is like cherry on top. That's it guys. I just started multi-streaming on Twitch, Kick, YouTube. I will start multi-streaming on Instagram and TikTok as well if I didn't meet the followers requirements. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me. The link is in the description. You guys can get access to my socials link by typing exclamation socials in the chat. And also join the Discord server. That's where I usually talk to you guys, chat with you guys, give you guys my roadmap, and have like general conversations. The link will be in the description, and you guys can get access to my Discord server by typing exclamation Discord in the chat as well. That's it. I'll catch you in the next live stream or video. Peace.